You made it. Happy New Year. Remember 2020? Wasn't that fun? I'm finding fewer and fewer optimists these days. I feel like last year kicked a lot of the superficiality right out of people. Are we supposed to just have happiness that is circumstantial? Is there a place for true joy? Paul seems to think so, and in Philippians 4:4 he says a statement that could be pretty superficial sounding if we don't see the other qualifiers that he sends with it. He says, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I will say rejoice. Is he just saying, smile more? You're a Christian. You have a responsibility or a duty to turn that frown upside down. See, this command does sound really superficial on the surface. But he says it's reasonable. In verse 5, he says that this reason will be known to everyone. This isn't something that's unfounded or even ungrounded, and it's supposed to just be an emotional reaction to just wanting things to be better. In verses 5 and 6, he says, what we ground it in, our reason comes from the fact that the Lord is at hand. So therefore, don't be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. So Paul is saying it's very reasonable to understand that God is in control. And most of the world would say that sounds like the opposite of reason. As I look around, it seems like everything's in chaos and spinning out of control. So it must mean that if Paul's right, that the more we explore this truth that God's in control, the more logic we'll find. And if God is at all in control, and we know he is, then that has the ability to remove every shred of human anxiety. So that's why he says, make your prayers, your supplication, and your thanksgiving be made known to him, because that's the only thing that we can control is our response to God. Then he makes an incredible promise. He says, if you do these things, if you anchor your joy in something that is reasonable, like the truth that God is in control, verse 7 says, the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. So peace that comes from God is the only part of all of this that won't make any sense at all, because it comes in such great measure that all of our reasonable trust in God will not equate. In other words, the little bit of trust that you and I can muster that we put in him gets overwhelmingly responded to with this incredible blessing of peace. And people would look at it on paper, it shouldn't add up, and it really doesn't. But it is the promise of God. This is why you and I can bank on the fact that if we have greater trust in the Lord going forward in 2021, he will grant us a peace that eluded so many last year during a difficult season. God bless you.